Hello, everybody. This is Claude the Bawles here for another show. I don't have many shows, but here we go with one. And this was largely inspired by my experience at the hands of Proverbs guys, because I won't say at the minds of Proverbs guys, because they don't actually appear to have much in the way of minds. And after a very simple exchange, a disagreement, I was booted from the show. And Dan said something about, oh, I put you back. So, well, and I put you back on. No, I'm not going to muck around with that sort of thing. You either have Claude on the show or you don't. You don't play around with putting him on or off just because he shows that what you say is stupid. Hello. Hello, Missing Mod. And hello, Soot Kettle. Yeah, so basically I said, well, forget that. I'm going to run my own show where the only body that can boot me is me. Hi, Big Bad Mama, as well. Yeah, so I got quite aggravated about that, and but I kept my cool. I thought, no, I'm not going to go on their show. One of the 3 viewers, I think I was, one of the 3. People like Gangster Ghost, Missing Mod get far more views from their members than Proverbs guys get from their exaggerated numbers. So I thought I would just mention that because it's very frustrating to be asked to go on or challenged to go on, and then when you do, you get the boot. So I just won't put up with it. I'm not going to go on as a second-class citizen. And you can hear that bully ass Lickerlees come on, and as soon as he does, he's looking for any excuse. Shall I boot, Claude or whatever else? And he's just a glorified wanker. And the more people that see that, the better. So I thought, well, I'll do a show myself. And of course, probably what really sparked Gangster Ghost is saying hi, hello, hi, Gangster Ghost, as well. And I thought, no, well, I'll have my own show. I'm in charge. I'm the boss. I can be. But the general thing is that I generally don't. I don't know if I've ever booted anybody from anything. Probably not. Otherwise, I'd remember. Because I'm for freedom of expression and thought. I don't go deliberately to hurt people, though, or be deliberately offensive. But I'm not going to put up with that sort of nonsense. I think it all started when Dan a few shows ago had said that the beaver dam, because they're obsessed with beavers. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do. It's because Kent is obsessed with various animals, and beavers are one of the ones that he's covered. Missing Mod wants to know how are we both the boss. Well, so you're the boss, but I'm the bossier boss. I think that's the only way, because that's the way the scripture would have wanted it. Well, as far as I'm told. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Yes. Yeah, so they were talking about beavers, and they said that this beaver dam was bigger than the Hoover Dam. Well, or larger. I'm going to get the words exactly right. Well, no, it's not larger. Even if you take it as a square footage or you take it as a cubic measurement, which is probably the better way. But they couldn't understand that. I think they're using AI for their information. As we know, AI gathers bits and pieces from here and there. It doesn't get everything right. So Stephen is going on about Claude is challenging Google, and well, I was right. Absolutely right. I even tried to demonstrate using mathematics, but of course, as a homeschooler, the mathematics is probably foreign to Stephen. In fact, I think I heard him the other day saying he went on to do some further form of education, possibly the kindergarten level following his time of homeschooling, and that he had not been taught the method of mathematics that was going to be useful to him in his further studies. Yeah, so and it was actually interesting, very interesting to hear Ms. Krista saying that that she was homeschooled too, and that sort of explains a lot. Yeah, but evidently they're very happy. I do know they're living in another place now. They've left DAL, but Stephen has been not too keen to admit it. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the wet underwear incidents with the cousins or not, but anyway, he's not there anymore. I'd love to actually to interview him about his time at DAL at some stage, but the one requirement would be that he would have to give straight answers. Yeah, so anyway, and that probably be ruled out. Anyway, they were quite happy living life wherever they are, and I think one of the kids of Stevens is there, which is great. I think family life is excellent, but I do have a rule in my family life: if I have responsibility for my family, then I meet those obligations before I go off having it off with someone else. I meet my existing responsibilities first. So that's probably because I have morals, unlike some of these people who proclaim to have a special relationship with their friend, Sky friend, and then do everything that make you think that they don't. I don't know if anybody's going to come on and talk to the Claude tonight, but yes, the other thing I wanted to discuss, because they're saying that Beaver, there's intelligent design. Well, that is just a load of rubbish, because beavers, if they were intelligently designed, you wouldn't find them getting eaten by various other creatures. So what a wonderful life, isn't it, to be made intelligently, and that at any moment in your life, you can have it stuffed out by another animal eating you. So, I mean, there must be, if it's intelligent design, you would sort of think that all animals would just eat vegetable matter, and then we're not snuffing out sentient life. It's not that I'm a vegetarian, but I'm just using this as a bit of for an argument. So beavers get eaten by things like bears and other things. What do you have over in the States? Or I don't know the different animals, but they are eaten. And then I thought, well, there are different diseases that will kill beavers too. One's called tularemia, and it occurs mostly in Northern American beavers, and that can lead to beaver death. So much for intelligent design. It's just complete nonsense. Clearly, beavers have evolved, and over considerable amount of time, way longer than the 6,000 years that these guys would claim is the age of the Earth, which is complete rubbish too. So, I feel as though I am talking. Would anybody like to come on to rescue the Claude from just talking to himself? Otherwise, I don't know what to rave on about. Maybe I could say that, as well as my interaction with beavers, and I do claim that it is because Kent discusses beavers that anything he does, of course, they're a Proverbs guy soon after. I have done a stream the other day where our good friend Kent, good topic of conversation. I think I was probably exaggerating. Had gone on about a lot of accusing others of various bits and pieces. And those bits and pieces were virtually the things that he does himself. So I got sort of quite aggravated and went through that. I don't often do that, but it was easier than writing out things. Hello, Ms. Outcast. How are you?
Hello, the cloud.
I just noticed a thing. I'm going in. It
Yes.
sounds as though you're entering some sort of a den of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or it's a bit like who was it? When Scott of the Antarctic died, one of them went out into the desert, into the storm, and said, "I'm just going out for a while. I may be sometime." You remember? Do you know that
Oh,
event? Have you heard of
yeah,
Scott?
I have a.
Yeah,
I'm
Scott of the
trying to.
Antarctic. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his. What
yeah.
was his other names? And
Well, he was
all I can.
dying. Yes, he was dying. They were all going to
Yeah,
die, probably. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. I'm quite perplexed about uh, Beavergate that I just coined that title for this debacle. So as far as I understand, apparently, yes, thank you, Big Bad Mama. Amundsen was the one I was thinking about, but the
He
only name that
succeeded.
popped up
Yeah, but
was
because
Nansen.
he was Scandinavian, wasn't he? So
Yes, yes, he
well, you
was.
don't rub that in.
I will rub it in.
Don't rub that one in just because he's one of yours.
Ha
Uh,
ha.
I'm going to find out the name of that other person while you're talking that I'm thinking. It was one
Mhm.
of Scott's team. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, from what I understand, um, w- a beaver dam. The first times I heard about this, I thought it was like some sort of a monument or a specific, not maybe a monument, but kind of like the Niagara Falls. Uh, Maybe a memorial to the beavers who all had to die to become hats in the US, or uh, well, something large and monumental. Um, the more I've listened to it, it sounds like the claim is that a beaver dam, as Big Bad Mama wrote, I think Big Bad Mama wrote in chat, I think Steven said beaver dams were over 900 are over 900 feet high.
Yeah.
So does Steven, because it's becoming more and more clear, or I think it becomes more and more clear to me, uh, that they are not talking about a specific beaver dam that's on the map of all beavers as the kind of like the pyramids, but for beavers. Uh, but they are talking about all. Oh, there, Lawrence Oates famously said, "I'm just going outside and maybe sometime before leaving the tent to sacrifice himself to give the others a better chance of survival." Right.
Yes, that's the
Lawrence
one I'm
Oates.
thinking. Which
Hmm.
for some reason it reminded me, I'm going in. It was a bit like
Yes.
I'm going out, as though you were sacrificing yourself. Oh my God, that's what I feel like when I've tried to go onto Proverbs, guys. But I won't
Oh.
bother that again.
I mean, there is a huge difference because this is very pleasant, and
Mm. The Moody Blues
that's
had a song. Captain Scott, you were so bold. Now you're rather cold out there in the snow. My God.
ooh, that
That's
sounds
weird. Hmm.
ominous.
Maybe, I mean, you could think of I mean, with Lawrence Oates, maybe Quaker Oats could have used that as an advertisement. Yeah.
It was he the man who? No, those are cereals. That's another thing.
Ah, right. Okay. Mr. Mr. Our next speaker will be Mr. Q Oates, Mr. Quaker Oates. Ugh. As long as we don't have any serial killers, you know.
Ooh. Serial snow killer.
Yes.
So
So,
in Stephen's head, the beaver dams isn't something that beavers build together and it grows. It's more like they just pop into being, and they are all, when they suddenly appear out of the darkness, they are 900 feet high.
wow.
That's the
Wow.
only conclusion I can make. I can promise you, I have seen beaver dams that, I mean, it looks like a couple of twigs fallen on the ground, and
Hmm.
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I do know there are big beaver dams, and
Of
but you know, to
course.
say that to it's just the exaggeration and crap coming from people that dare to question real science, and you know think that they are intelligent when they're basically dropouts. And I have no problem with dropouts and failures because, you know, they're all given, well, to use coin a phrase, God's gifts is not in that area, you know. So Stephen might be very good at whatever, fathering children. He might be very good at, but he's not good at science. You know, Dan is very good, probably at landscaping. I've never seen it. Apparently, he's won an award. I don't know if that was out of a cereal packet or a real award. I have no idea. And but he's probably very good at that. But he knows nothing about science. It's just nonsense. And he trots out this rubbish. And, you know, I don't even claim to be a science expert. And that's why I go to scientists for my science. Hmm.
Exactly. And the truth is, so do they.
Yeah.
Because they don't build their own computers. They don't cook up their own medications when they are wrong. They don't carry out their own heart surgeries. They trust in the science that's behind it.
Yeah. Yes. Even the other day, Kent had gone off to the hospital with some ailment. Normally, he'd be telling people to pray about it, or to what's his other one? Go to this vitamin guy.
Mm.
But yeah,
Bill Sardi, was that his name?
well, he's the one that sort of passed on from
Right.
taking his own. I tell you a story here. Now, this is true. I actually, you know, when this disease COVID started
Hmm.
up, I thought, you know, I want to find out, and nobody knew very much, and whatever. And he was on about what, you know, that he had these various cures for it. So I actually emailed him, and he told me what to take for it, which thank God, when I eventually got it, took no notice of, because you know it would appear to be that was the cause of his demise. So that's pretty
Ooh.
sad, isn't it? Yes.
Yes,
He,
it
yeah.
is. I mean, it's it's sad because I presume that he had loved ones who lost
Yes,
someone
yes,
close to them.
yes. I think he had a son at least, or maybe you know, but there was a divorce thing going on. That's the other thing that seems to be quite common um, with these people. But you know, no, but you know how much thanks and recognition he ever got from Kent? Virtually nothing. Nothing. Once he was done, he was expendable. Well, that's no good. Hmm.
That is very true. I don't think I have heard. Now, to be like level-minded, I do not follow Kent's material religiously or in any other way.
Religiously, so to speak. To
Exactly.
coin a phrase, I don't follow Kent Haven religiously.
I follow him atheistically.
Oh, look, there's someone in the comments called Soot. I wonder who the hell he is.
Oh,
Oh gosh,
I think
you
he's a
go melt.
fashion model.
Oh god.
Yes.
My darling Sutter, every word you say, everything you write, I will treasure. I suppose you've taken a screenshot of it, keep in your scrapbook.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
You can take it
Soot,
down. I have
yeah,
screenshot.
shot of it. Yes, yeah, I thought I'd put up for that. Big Bad Mama says night mod. I thought it was nightmare. My eyesight is so terrible. I honestly thought it said nightmare, but no, it says night mod. God. Big bad mama, get yourself on here before I do a deep south imitation, which will not be any good. Ah, or are you away at the moment in the hills somewhere having a romp through the scenery? What is it? Where
Yes.
you go to? The Black Hills of Dakota? Is that what they call them?
Big Bad Mama is romping through the hills
Probably. Well, I see
to
those,
sound of music.
those wonderful times when he puts up a clip, of Big Bad Mama goes out on the mountains. Yeah. I quite enjoy it.
Oh,
Ah,
chorizo.
Kurisu is here. And I was going to say, Kurisu is wonderful. He's just done some most wonderful shows
He
and
does.
featuring a mutual, shall we say, a mutual object of derision. Not a Dr. Ken Over, and he's so good. Kurisu, he really sucks it to him, and he gets lots of views. So, which is
Oh,
quite
and do you know
amazing.
what? He just passed today 1,000 subscribers. So
Who's that?
hooray!
Who's
Chris
that?
did. Chris.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I'm jealous now.
Uh, oh, sorry. I shouldn't have
No,
said
no,
that in
no,
this
no,
show.
no, no. I don't actually know. No, you should have. I encourage people to go to Kurisu's show. He really has a way with words, and
Yes.
he can also argue the science side of things too, which I get a bit lost on. Davy Mo says bonjour Claude, hello, bonjour, ça va?
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Comment allez-vous? We could talk that. We'll stick to English. Oh dear. So, now I've lost my train of thought, but that's not unusual. Yes. So Kurisha was really good, and quite funnily enough, I saw in one Hoven show where I don't know, someone was put up to it. Someone did a telltale thing. Do you know that Kurisu is having a go at you? Why don't you whack a Hoven on him or whatever? and it was like
Yeah.
a real telltale thing. Yeah. Oh, Kusi says, well, I lost one. Dude got mad at me commenting on a video today. LFMAO, like I was just supposed to play the whole thing without commentary. Well, occasionally you've got to lose one, and perhaps the person you lost was a person that Kent sent along. Who would know? So, yes, you win. You lose one, and you win many. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, um, yes, the Proverbs guys have been. People say I only pick on Kent. Well, no, I don't. No, I pick on Proverbs guys, and particularly I do find Achilles the nasty one. I find him nasty. I mean, Dan, I think is just sort of like a clown, and Stephen Boland. Well, sometimes he's okay. He's not. Maybe his wife, a new wife, will be a moderating influence on him. I certainly hope so. But I was quite interested to listen to the history of these people, and it's one of all sorts of things that I would never dream of doing. Major drug use, rock and roll, sex. Why would I try for that? But it was, and yet I'm meant to be the immoral, one. Claude, oh, he's terrible. And then we're hearing stories of what they've been up to, but they get away with it because they're Christian. It's just bollocks.
Yeah,
Mm,
that makes you instantly a good person. Everyone knows that. I mean, it's
mm,
obvious. I
yeah,
feel it's very, very strange
yeah.
how you manage to live your life in such obvious denial. I mean, we saw. I don't really remember how long ago it was. It was a couple of days ago, maybe more, where um, Poopin, the man who shall
Man,
not be mentioned.
man.
Well, the creature had um, uh, said to a friend of ours, whom we all know has terminal cancer, that he hoped he bet diabetes would kill him before the cancer does. And that's the moral high ground. Those are supposed to be the good people, those who are going to heaven. If people like him are in heaven, I am so, so happy if I'm not going there, which I'm not, but for very different reasons, like heaven not existing. But if it was, I would not like to share eternity with individuals like that.
Well, I know, if it turned out to be real, maybe I'd get in on the once saved, always saved, clause, because, having been a Christian many years ago, well, not so many, well, yeah, quite a while ago. So maybe I'd get on the, but, what I would see out of the corner of my eye is Ovend in his Hawaiian shirt, creeping. So maybe I'd be in hell. Who would know? I would be creeping over to God and tapping him on the shoulder and pointing at me. Look, I told him. And look what I built for you, God. I built a Noah's Ark. Oh, I believed everything that Ron Wyatt told me. I was a complete sucker for you. I was an ass slicker for you. I mean, it's just nonsense. Ugh. God. Big Bad Mama, are you mucking around with a friend at the moment? Because if you're not, get yourself on here.
Yes,
Kurisu, fair enough. Kurisu needs to work in the. How do I say it? Is it Kurisu or Kurisu?
I say Kurisu Yamato.
All right, okay. Um, so he needs to get to sleep, got to work. So that's good.
Oh,
Big Bad Mama has no excuse. No excuse.
if I'm awake and Soot's awake, Big Bad Mama has no reason not to be, because
Exactly.
he is 9 hours behind.
Whoa,
So,
yes.
mhm.
What time is it there for you?
4:30 in the morning.
Well, I'm in the morning too, 11:30. So it's actually fine. I'm having lunch next is on my program. uh, yeah, so yeah, you should not be awake, deviant.
Uh, anyway,
No.
onwards.
God, you've got all the rest of
Good
the
to
day for
see
that sort of
you.
nonsense. Yeah. Oh dear. No, we'll move on quickly. What else can we talk about?
Well, um,
Oh, you can buy a van. You can buy Kent
oh,
Ovens' van. It's in Los Angeles at the moment. And he
oh,
says it could be worth millions one day since, because he once drove it.
mm,
And it's got a lumbar powered vibrator in it, which I think he
oh,
used that
wow.
word deliberately, which is a bit naughty. But I don't care. But he claims to be the moral high ground, so I did that. So I
I
put a
mean,
thing up about that. I thought that was quite funny. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know in which setting he said that, but I have heard him say very uh, what's the word? Terms that's okay with grown-ups. Uh,
Yes.
and I don't have an issue with it, except it's not something that you do when there are children around. And we happen to know that there are, in fact, children around.
Yeah, I think because he claims to be such a, um, like he's used the term summa cum laude, the
Hmm.
Latin term, and because if you when you graduate, some graduate with the honors and summa cum laude or whatever, but he reads summa cum laude, and you know what he's getting at. I mean, I personally think it's sort of quite funny, but not from a man of his sort of, what he would preach. I don't think. I think it's a bit smutty. You'd expect it from me, but you wouldn't expect it from him.
No, it's not. And again, I too think it's kind of funny,
Yeah.
but it's not. Again, a proper use.
Oh no! Oh, I'm gonna give that. Okay, yeah, yes, the summa cum laude. He claimed he didn't know what it meant. Well, that's even worse. Of course he knew, and you could tell from the smirk, on his face that he knew, just
Yeah,
as I know. So just be honest, kid. That's all.
and
It
he
doesn't
talks
matter.
about the national pornographics and all of that. And
Oh,
again, I don't have an issue with it at all. Innuendos are funny. I only have an issue with it for two reasons. One being his condemnation of others and what they are supposed to do and not do and this and that. And the other being the fact that there are children there. And I don't think it's appropriate for a grown man to be using that sort of language in front of children. Um,
yeah.
I mean, of course, it depends on how old the children are. If the children are 17, yeah, sure, but that's not really what I mean by children.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Look,
Yeah.
that raises another funny thing. I maybe should make a clip of this one day, but I don't know. It came across my YouTube stream, some show in England, and then in Ireland. It might have been Northern Ireland, and it was when sort of sex education was becoming controversial and whatever. And there's this elderly audience mostly, and there's a guy must have been 60s or 70 saying, "I don't want my children taught how to use contraception." Okay, I don't want my children taught how to use contraception or condoms. And then the host said, "Oh, how old are your children?" He said, 26 and 27. And the audience laughed. The audience laughed. I thought that was so funny. And it's in black and white, and the guy looks black and white too. And, how old are they? Oh, 27. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
have to
think they
laugh.
really, if those are their parents, and yeah, maybe they very much should use contraception.
Just that you don't want your 27-year-old son born out of use a condom. There's a good chance. There's a good chance that he already knows. Or
Yeah.
worse, he's doing it without it. It's going to come down with some sort of thing that he needs to rub, some antibiotics on whatever,
Mm.
or even worse again, get somebody pregnant with a baby that's not wanted. It
Mhm.
doesn't have a stable environment. So, oh, here we go. Davy Moe. They don't have driver's ed and sex ed on the same day at DAL. And here comes the answer why. Why? Because it's too hard on the donkey. That is rather naughty. I should not be laughing. We'll go on with Claude, any news on Hoven's inflated lips? I hope they're still growing. That was the thing he went to hospital for, wasn't it? There was
Yes.
something had gone wrong. Maybe because it is trendy, and I don't like this myself, but a lot of young women in particular, do they inject themselves with something in the lips? You've seen that? It seems to be
I
a
I have
trend.
I have seen it. I don't know if it's a trend,
Yeah.
but um, I I have seen like articles about it, and yeah.
Well, I certainly don't like it because usually what they
I'm
overdo, it's
sorry.
not just they overdo it and they have that horrible look in their pouty little faces. But anyway, I wonder, was Hovan trying to sort of keep up with that in that department, and accidentally sort of slipped in a bit too much buttocks, Botox,
Oh,
yeah, whatever it's called. I thought of him slipping in buttock. No, we won't go there. Um, Creationist Crybaby is with us. It appears that Big Bad Mama has gone, and
mm.
he's just put Kurisu at 1,000 subs.
Ooh.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. Oh, Creationist Crybaby, that is really neat. Thank you so much. That's all right. We're all on the same side. We're all working for the Lord. I mean, for the Claude here. I don't know why Creationist Crybaby is playing hard to get. Not.
No.
I don't know what's happening. I hope no, because what time is it? It's not too late there, is it? Uh, it would be 10 o'clock. Would it be 7:38 in the evening? So maybe he has just. Oh, good. He's just subs to B as well, so that's good. Well, that's all right. All is forgiven. I'm suspecting he's just cooked up a romantic dinner for two
Mm.
by sending out to McDonald's for takeaway delivery. And what are you having tonight? Here's this Big Mac. Whatever. And look, it contains salad. There's a few stringy bits of lettuce in it. Yeah, and look, there's tomato. Oh no, that's tomato sauce.
Ugh.
It's important
I
to eat
can't
from the
even
different
remember when
food.
I had McDonald's last time. Ugh.
Well, it's important to eat from each of the different food groups. Okay, so McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken or KFC. What's the other food group? Burger King, Wendy's, and they have all sorts of wonderful things in the States that I've never heard of before. Here we go. I'm sorry, love. It's Claude's fault. And my bodacious voice box. Bodacious, that's a big word. Bodacious. Now, why are you sending messages to each other when you're in the same house? I mean, is this some sort of strange thing going on? Soot Kettle says, Kurisu's video about Kent ban evading, was top shelf. Yes, that I saw that, and maybe even at the time put something. So Kent goes on when he got his new channel saying that he'd been authorized by Genesis Baptist Church to do their channel, and it was nothing to do with him and all this sort of bullshit. I mean, it's straight out lying. I can't understand how he can expect anybody to believe that. Now,
I mean, if your sycophants are propped
mm,
sufficiently to not question and
mm.
just follow, then yeah,
Gonna
not
go
only
for it. Creationist Crybaby, do I have you on Discord? I have a question for you. Yeah, so feel free to answer Creationist Crybaby either in the chat or by coming on. Calm down. Take your medicine, Claude. That's good. That's better. Creationist Cry. Well, feel free to just use me for the day. Why don't we just sit here and wait while these two talk? Huh? You know? Oh, what clothes are you wearing today? Oh, well, what am I going to have to eat? Oh, God. Anyway, he's not on Discord. Peter. Well, does that gonna go for it as Peter? Which Peter?
yes, Peter
Is
the
that?
Tucker.
Oh, it's good. Oh, listen, because I haven't seen him for a while.
Me neither.
No, I don't. He hasn't been on Mod shows. I'm not. Mod hasn't had a lot of shows. But, how can I get in touch with you? Look, I tell you what. We'll make it Claude's dating agency. You know. Oh yeah. Anybody want to get in touch with someone else? Come and put your details up on Claude's show. We'll find you someone. Oh dear. That reminds me of another thing. You know, I went on some sort of a camp. You know, when I was a bit younger, and
Oh
it was
goodness,
a pretty
the word
much a
camp never ends good.
well, you know, they're supposed to be good, clean living sort of things, but
Oh,
actually a lot of romping went on. A lot of
imagine.
rumpy pumpy, as they call it, and you know, so one night on the door of the cabin, you know, I hear this knocking. Oh God! Why open up? Have you got a girl in there? No, I haven't. Well, don't worry, we'll soon get you one. I mean, so it turned out to be the opposite to what Claude thought. I was going to be in trouble. Dear.
It was better back in the olden days.
Here we go. What is this? Peter, why am I the only one liking your producing for Aaron posts on Facebook? Feel free to answer that too, Peter. I'm getting worried. I think it is quite possible that Big Bad Mama is being held hostage somewhere.
That could be.
And because there's someone else missing too who was on earlier. And she's missing, if you get what I mean. And she does have a dungeon, and she has threatened to put me in it. Well, it wasn't a threat for me. I was quite keen on the idea. But yes, so she has
for Big Bad Mama.
Yeah. So I'm a bit suspicious that that he is being unfaithful to Miguel, involuntarily, of course. What's this? Gonna go for it. It got a few more likes, but I think I post them too often. Well, that's a point. One has to know, you know, when to leave people wanting more. Yeah, that's Claude's, you know, bon mot for life. Leave them wanting less. More. What other ones that I've had on? Well, it all seems. Yeah, I probably haven't done as many. You know, what has happened, I've noticed, is that shows are getting longer and longer, and day by day there's more shows. So I think Gangster has had one or two. The one, I think he's also had one with Mr. Pike as well, if I've got that right. So that's two shows. And then I don't think Missing Mod has today, but ProverbsGuys have had one or two. And, you know, one that I got the boot from, it was gone on and on and on and on. And just as you think Dan is going to stop, oh, he starts
Oh
up again,
goodness.
on and on some more. So it actually is taking a lot of time to listen to some of this sort of shit stuff. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Takes an awful long time.
Yeah, but they haven't done. So I remarked this to Aidan before. The fact that we're doing the reviews or whatever you want to call it for the PGs. Moses thingamajig in Egypt.
Oh, right. All right.
And
Yes.
yeah, and that was announced in August.
Mm.
And we are now in the beginning of January. And they still haven't, they have put out 2 of them so far, but not the third one. And I wonder why that is.
They're losing, perhaps.
Yeah, I have a theory, but I don't think I should divulge it in an open forum.
Okay.
But I'm very, very keen to see. They claim they are waiting for the wife of Ron Wyatt
Oh,
to come on, and I do not know what she could possibly have to add of value. The
no.
only, I mean, I'm not saying she didn't have her own career, but in the context of what we are talking about, her accomplishment is that she was married to a fraud.
Yeah.
So, hooray, I guess.
Well, absolutely is a fraud, that's for sure. Oh, God. God, he's just a. No. Yeah, I don't know where to begin with Ron Wyatt, but it's no wonder that Berlin believes in him. You know, yeah.
He follows his master when it comes to source criticism and science. Yes.
Oh God. Oh, Peter is here.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. Good to see you.
Very good.
I was awake and I thought, look, it's Claude.
Were you awake,
Oh.
not awoke?
Awake, not woke. Well,
Yeah.
I am woke, I guess. Think. I don't know.
Hooray.
Hey,
Yeah, you're.
Big Bad Mama.
Big bad mama.
good to see you guys. Peter,
Hi.
I check my email in my channel description.
Okay, will do. Will do.
How you doing, Claude and Deviant?
Oh, I'm
Thanks,
good. I was
Peter.
worried about you. I thought you'd been captured by Mr. Nod and locked in a dungeon.
He was worried because that would mean you had taken his place in the dungeon, and we all know Claude would not have that.
Right,
It's
Claude.
good.
Claude likes
It's
the
good
dungeon.
you've joined BBM because so people who have been following you and have seen you on a certain dinosaur channel, so to speak, they have all complained that when you're on camera, it's so dark. You can barely see who's there. And
Even
so
Hovind was complaining about it.
I bumped into a picture taken in broad daylight of said person appearing on the dinosaur channel. So there, have a look.
Right. That's perfect. That's what I should use for my next.
Someone
Next time I
posted
go on
that
there.
on Twitter, and the moment I saw that, I thought, that's Big Pat Mama.
That's funny.
Now, Soot put up a short, didn't he, of that guy from Family Guy using the
Right.
head, yeah, on a floral shirt. I enjoyed
That
that.
was funny.
I enjoyed that. Yeah,
But
I see that. There's quite a good comment in there that too bad we lost Ron Wyatt before he found Bigfoot.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that humor. You know, you guys. Some people think the American humor isn't that good, but this stuff is great. It's very sarcastic too, and I like a bit of satire and sarcasm.
But
He
Deviant,
found
you
everything
said,
else.
You said they wanted to invite Ron Wyatt's wife on
Yes.
on the PJs.
Yes.
So
To
that could
take-
be very interesting.
Stephen
Because-
Boland went to her house and he made a video
Of
about
course he did.
that. That was pretty interesting. I mean, there.
Yeah, but he's got married since. Oh, sorry.
Well,
I mean, there was
but
deck timber from Noah's Ark.
yeah, well, so I don't know if she still has that, because I think you all are aware of what happened after Ron Wyatt passed away.
No.
Oh, so one of his dear friends who helped him with his quote unquote museum thought, okay, he's dead, it's mine now, and he stole everything.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
Ron Wyatt's wife doesn't have a lot anymore. It's all gone. It's all in a new museum now. They used to have a museum in, I think it was an old gas station that they converted into a museum because, I mean, it doesn't have to be that big to house everything Ron Wyatt found, right? I mean, you could do that in the gas station's toilet. But yeah. No, so
it's empty. It's
most
just
most
up
of
for
it,
grabs.
yeah, most of it is gone now. Ron Wyatt's wife doesn't have anything anymore, and there was a big fight over it for a long time. I don't know how it ended, but I do
I
know.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I do know she doesn't have a lot of stuff anymore. I don't know who has the Ark deck wood, which was made by an atheist in the region with the help of coffee
She
and,
had a
and
piece.
chicken.
She had a piece of
chicken
it
shit.
because Boland was holding a piece of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was made with coffee and chicken shit. As I thought that was brilliant, because that's what most of the creationist scientific things are
Right.
made of, right? I mean, but yeah. He brought that back to the US as being an original part of Noah's real ark, and then the guy went on national TV talking about how he fooled this creationist from the US and took a piece of railroad tie and made it look older using coffee and chicken shit, and he actually bought it and brought it back to the US as an actual piece of the ark.
Huh.
I should have saved all my links back then. Back then, I was just watching stuff because I only recently had bumped into a video of Kent Hovind, and so I didn't save anything. I should have saved that. Most of it is gone now.
It's funny how you talk about chicken shit, because, you know, Hovind lately he used to do it a lot, but he's doing it again now. Anyway, come and debate me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just crap, isn't it? So anyway, carry on.
Well, his calendar's a little empty now these days, right? I mean, he's listing birthdays on his calendar now instead of debates. I think that says something about people.
He
not
even
wanting
sang
to
the
debate.
happy birthday song for Joe, and I mean, she hates to hear from him. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
She doesn't want
Yeah.
anything to do with him. And he sings happy
Oh
birthday
yeah. Oh
song
goodness.
this is Joe's birthday, for goodness sake.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Joe.
Yeah,
A-
great.
As if
A-
she would
a
want
friend
to
of
be
mine-
remembered by her abusive ex-husband.
Yeah. A friend
Probably
of mine
reminds
still
her of her
in touch
prison
with her.
time.
Yeah.
She sends him birthday cards and Christmas cards still every year. So
Yes, I don't think she wants to hear from him somehow. I think she's developed a new
No.
life, and
I know-
without that horrible man.
I know for certain she doesn't want to hear from him anymore.
Hmm.
Nor does Eric. But I mean, yeah, we all know that Eric needs those underpants, and he's slowly growing into
Swiss
them.
Army knife.
And the Swiss Army knife to cut free if he grows any bigger.
Would like to be a fly on the wall in that family, just to see what's. But it's the interesting thing too is now that the grandkids, they must be a lot older now. If they wanted to go, they could go and see Kent of their own volition, free will now. But
Yeah.
they don't.
No. Several are over 18 now, so and they have no interest in going visiting grandpa in his fantastic theme park.
Well, I think the problem is he'd be trying to marry them off to the losers in the man cave.
Probably. Yeah,
Well,
probably.
that would be, because he's always doing that sort of stupid stuff.
Right.
Embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of them are girls. Even most of his grandkids. So
He's kind of adopted Sandra's kids as his own, I think, too. I mean,
yeah, he's always
that's
talking
just
about
for
my
sure.
daughter and my son and
right.
You wait. It won't take long. I give it a couple of years and they won't want anything to do with them. You just know that's going to happen. Yeah.
I mean, if Ken dies, they're going to figure out how much they are related to him because nothing of his inheritance will go to them. I mean,
he doesn't have anything. Yeah, right.
No. Sandra won't get anything. Yeah, she will get an eviction notice.
Yep.
Yeah, as Ernie Land takes it and does some multi-level marketing with it.
Yes.
I know who thinks they're going to get it. Well, for a while it was with that other dreadful guy, his sidekick, that tall guy. What the hell's his name? Oh, there's Stephen. Yes, he'd be in line as well. But no, the other one, that other Powell, that Powell.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Mm.
Well, isn't Mary Toko still married to Kent? So I would imagine she would have a say in what happens.
No, that wasn't a real marriage. That's why
there was a common law. It was before common law marriage was not a thing in Alabama. So I believe they are married legally.
Wow.
She didn't need a divorce. She just could run away and not have any financial ties to him. So I don't think it's an actual marriage.
Well,
but you know
Sandra and Cindy were not actual marriages, but I believe the one to Mary was.
Yes.
I don't know.
Mary definitely was.
Yeah.
Mary definitely was. Mary Toko.
According to Mary Toko, it wasn't. I saw
the divorce. I don't think.
No, she posted somewhere that she didn't need a divorce because it was only a marriage.
Church marriage.
Church marriage. So it wasn't a real thing.
I don't trust any of them. But what'll have happened is, because Kent's good at structuring. I'll give him that. He tried structuring.
Yeah.
Now, this will be structured so that DAL is not in his name in any way. Sure, he can appoint the board, so that's how he controls it during his lifetime. And they do what they tell him. We know it's a sham. But after his death, that's where it would become interesting, because those wives and they won't have any rights for that. That will all be stitched up, and someone powerful with money, maybe Ernie, will have that. Will somehow get that. I just know.
I think that if Ken dies now, Ernie will get everything, and he will just sell it off to make more money. But what happens if Ernie dies?
Aha. Yeah, Ernie seems to be better off than, mentally than Kent. That's not saying much.
But nothing is in Kent's name. It all goes through Ernie Land. So what happens if Ernie Land dies?
Right. Yeah.
And his offspring is. I don't know if his offspring gets their hands on it, they might evict Hovind, which would be pure joy to watch. Honestly.
Oh dear. Who would be the worst possible person to get hold of it? That's right. Mark
Achilles.
or Achilles David, or Mark Stoney. No, the one that would really rile Kent up would be if Mark.
Oh,
Stoney,
yeah.
if he got
Junior.
And I leave DAL to Atheist Junior and Mark Stoney.
If Mark Stoney gets it, the Proverbs guys will never let it go.
Oh dear.
I'm pretty sure Stephen Bolin went there and thought, hey, maybe I can be next in line.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I think a lot of people think that.
Documentary about Kent.
Right.
Which was a smear campaign with false accusations.
They spelled it wrong. They spelled it wrong. They used a D as the first letter. It should be an M.
Oh dear.
The only actual documentary about Kent Hovind is still the one McKinnon Mitchell made. That is by far the best documentary on Kent Hovind. I learned stuff from that.
I'm responsible for a minute of that documentary. The material in a minute of that documentary came from my source.
Ooh.
Which I sent to Robert Beatty, which McKinnon Mitchell got from Robert Beatty. And it was about Brady Byram.
Well, that's good, because that Brady is a bad egg, He is. He's a bad egg.
Well,
doing things to his own family. Yeah, but he was on
gone
the
now.
Wow.
That we know of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone, but he's still he's still living.
Chris Jones, are you thinking about?
No, the other guy, the one that went after Hovind.
Sorry. The lies by the devil.
No, the former what was it? Revenue guy.
It's not one of the tech guys, is it? Because they all seem to end up stealing money.
The guy that Kent Hovind hates to this day, which is his biggest enemy.
Huh.
Yeah. What was his name? I had him on my channel. And that's why Hovind doesn't want to talk to me anymore.
It's not Mark.
No, it's not.
An old guy or a young guy?
Older guy.
Not John Paul Hansen.
No.
Chris Baker, no.
I'll have to go and
you've got us curious now.
Why is old age coming with a lack of memory? That's what I want to know.
Young age too, or not as old as old age.
Yes, you've got to give us this name now. We're very curious in case we've missed something.
That was a while back.
Did he? And he lived at DAO?
Robert Beatty.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Well, yes, but he wasn't one
Robert
of Kent's
Beatty.
people.
Okay.
Yeah. But Robert
He's an
certainly,
IRS. He worked for the IRS, I think.
Yeah.
But not in connection with Kent's case. But he knows all the bullshit stories, and he was able to call them out. Yeah, he was wonderful.
He went after everyone. He had several pages on Atheist Junior. He had an entire page on me because I pissed him off.
He went after Christian Pike when Christian Pike visited DAO.
Yeah.
Well, we did a show on. So we did a show. Yeah, we did a show on Ross channel, and when we were finished, Arn said, "This is too much about Ken's private life. I have made an agreement with Lilandra. I'm not going to post something like that on my channel." And then Beatty got really pissed off. And I told him, okay, you can come on my channel and say pretty much everything you said on Arn's channel. But he's still pissed off because that was the four of us: Gutsy Gibbon, Arn Ra, Robert Beatty, and me.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
And there's only one surviving copy of that show. And I think you can guess who has that.
Is it you?
Yes.
Yes.
And every single time he came in someone's chat and I was there, he started butchering me about he wants a copy of that show. And I told Arn, I want a copy just because of the things that were said there. And I'm not going to make this public. I gave Arn my word. It's not going to go public. So it's not going to go public. And we all agreed on it at the end of that show. And now he's pissed off that he agreed on it. So
could it go private to just us?
No, I had to promise Arn that I wouldn't share it. So
okay.
And I'm going to keep my word.
Yeah, fair enough.
Of course.
Robert was on Gangster Ghost show too. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
wasn't that long ago.
It's still up somewhere, is it? Or is it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone now because he got silenced. He got a cease and desist letter from someone that he went after.
Yeah.
And they told him to take down the pages on them. And then he took down his entire website and his Twitter account and everything. So everything's gone now.
I still message him sometimes, and he messages me sometimes too.
Oh, it's a pity because he was a treasure trove of information.
Right.
No. I've come to find out that he also had a lot of lies on there. He lied there were several lies about AJ on his pages. There were lies about Arn. There were lies about me. So if that is the case, and those are the things that I could verify because I was there for that. So I could verify those lies. If those exist, then how much can we trust when he's reporting about other people, including Kent Hovind? And that, I mean, that ruined his credit with me, at least.
But so, why was he? Do you know why he was so pissed off and wants the copy of that show? I mean, if it's his, he's not talking about himself, and it's not an issue of, oh no, I said about too much about myself, and I want to control this material because it's me. And
I know exactly why he's mad, because if Arn was there and Gutsy Gibbon was there, that would give him a lot more credit in the atheist community. He would get
a lot of views. Yeah.
Yes.
True.
And that didn't happen. So. But it's sad. I really thought that he was credible, and after the things that I saw, Not so much.
It's a shame because he did it. It was quite a good resource, and it was good to see him put the pressure on Kent. But well, you've got to make sure that you're fair across the board. So
you have to be honest. You can't make stuff up. And if you start doing that, then even if you get the dirt on Kent, can we believe it now? Is it real? How did you get it?
Yeah.
And that's just stupid.
Yep. Oh dear. Well, folks,
but I
5-minute warning. Yep.
Okay. I still think that McKinnon Mitchell did a great job on his documentary.
Yeah, he did a great job.
And I'm so sad that the one on Greg Locke got shelved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was he working on another one?
Oh yeah,
he was working on a documentary, similar documentary about Greg Locke, and then people showed up at his house with death threats.
Who's Greg Locke?
You don't know Greg Locke? You're such a lucky man, Claude.
No,
I've heard of him. I'm not familiar with him.
He is so much worse than Kent Hovind. It's not even funny.
Is he like a Steven Anderson but bigger?
Yes.
Wow.
We'll look him up.
Yeah, those two are very much.
He actually goes after people if they cross him.
Oh.
He's that dangerous. He was in Washington on January 6th. He's that kind of guy. So I have if you want to watch it, it is on my secondary channel. I'm gonna go for some more. There's an interview with his ex-wife, because he was going to come on. He was on my show, and while he was on my show, he said, "I want to talk to more atheists." So I messaged Jackson Wheat and asked him, because then I wasn't that much in touch with Arn. Sorry. And so I asked Jackson to get in touch with Arn if we could set up a conversation between Locke and Arn. And we had set it up. We had picked a date. And I have to say, before he came on my show, that was messed up 3 times because of his personal secretary who couldn't keep dates. And so 2 days before he was going to come on my show talking to Arn, his daughter walked into one of the back rooms of the church. Back then he was still preaching in a church now, and then they built a tent next to it because there were more people. And so she walked into the church and went into the back room and found Daddy naked on top of his personal secretary, who's now his wife.
Yep.
So he had to move his ex-wife. She was bussed out of state the next day or 2 days later. So the show that we had planned never happened because he was dealing with some personal issues, as he told me. And I know that he was very upset at the time because he actually emailed me with his own private email address, not with a church address. So, but yeah, so he had to get his wife out of state, and his wife still wanted to get back together, but obviously he had a new girlfriend who just needed to get a divorce because she was married too. And yeah, there were some awful text messages back and forth. And back then I was talking to a Christian who had a blog, and he was in touch with the people who took in his ex-wife. And so I got in touch with him, and that's how I got all the text messages. And that's how I got with McKinnon. I said, hey, I've got some stuff. If you're doing stuff on Greg Locke, I've got the text messages of him fat shaming his wife and blaming her for everything, even though he was screwing around on her.
Wow, that would have been a good documentary.
Yes, that would have been a really good documentary, because I know McKinnon is meticulous in his research, and he eventually got in touch with Locke's ex-wife too, and mentioned that I had the text messages, and she remembered, and she said, yes, you can use those. And then she got threats, death threats. And that was another thing why McKinnon didn't want to go through with it. And then later, the interview came up, and that McKinnon said, that's something you could post. So I made a graphic for it, like a cassette tape running. And
this was the interview with the ex-wife.
Yes.
Cool.
That was shortly after. I can actually give you the link. Let me go get the link. Go for. What?
Wait, you said it was like a cassette tape?
Yeah, that's what I made as a graphic, because it was not the best of recordings, and so I thought, well, it looks good if it looks like a cassette that is playing, and I wanted to have.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm on the Gonna Go For Some More channel now, and there's one that says the interview Greg Locke didn't want you to hear. It's 55 minutes, and it's him in front of a tent, and it says, I can whoever I want.
Yes, I can F whoever I want. Yes, that's it. I'll put the link in the private chat here for people who want to watch it.
Awesome.
What's your other channel gonna go for some more?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I have my risky stuff. So there's a video about Steve McRae. There's a video about praise that he doesn't want anyone to see. And there's one live show on a Discord AMA, which I really enjoyed, actually. Oh, and the dumb fuck of the year awards.
That's one of your videos?
Yes. That's also about Steve McRae, by the way.
Boy, that channel really went to hell, as I recall.
Yeah.
Steve McRae and Kyle went off the deep end too.
Yeah.
And they had some good interviews on that. I mean, they had some good debates on that channel in the day.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Aaron and Kent debated, and Crocoduck and Hovind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Soot asked, is Pineapple still with me? Yeah, if you listened closely when I joined, yeah, you could hear him in the background. He's slowly turning into a nocturnal parrot living with me, which is weird. Probably because I'm awake at night.
Probably.
The bird sleeps
Probably
all day.
Has something to do with it.
Yeah. And then at night, he's got a light in his cage now, so I turn on the light, and then he's awake. So he's
Okay, folks, it's been good, but we'll do the principle of a short show is a good show, so we'll do it another time. And thank you so much for supporting me.
One quick question. Question.
Yeah.
Big Bad Mama, can you hang around just for a sec after we
Sure.
go off air?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
folks, we will say good night or whatever time of day it is for you. For me, it is good lunch, and we'll do another show another day. And meantime, if you want a good laugh, you can look at Lull Cows, which is either Kent or Proverbs Guys. I learned that term recently. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.